Alright, I'm going to do a quick review video of this thing, basically, which is, if you look up this part number, I've heard some people complaining that, that they didn't have any documentation, because they don't on the CD they give you on this device. It comes with the CD, but it's like a trial version or a limited free version of Mach 3, but there's like no proper documentation. It's not related to this board at all. I still haven't found documentation on this little pendant here, but the fact of the matter is that the board actually works, and I got it wired up like a Christmas tree here, but it was, a little tricky trying to do the research on the documentation, but I did, certainly discover you do not need to wire these enable lines up, because this thing doesn't even have one. So, but yeah, these enable lines, you can just leave them off. Let me turn it on here. But, um, but yeah, you don't need to actually use these enable lines. They're automatically enabled. They're disabled when you hook it to 5 volts. So I didn't know that until this. It's one of the things I was trying to figure out. But you can see the wiring here is really simple. I mean, you've got just to get the motors to work. The focus isn't that great on this webcam here, but just to get the motors to work, you got like XP and XD, YZ and YP, and Z, P and ZD, and AD and AP for auxiliary pulse and direction, X pulse direction, etc. But the XD pin is X direction, and that goes to the direction connection. All right, and I got the grounds basically all jumper together on this. So the negative, the DR negative, pole negative, and enable negative, are all wired together, and I got a daisy chain to just go into the ground line here. So, but basically I'm running this positive, unlike what some of these, like I said, if you do a Google search, you're going to find this Druffel CNC here. If you actually look this part number up, which is actually printed on the board, right, where this Eagle logo is, and that's the number right there. But it'll come up with the documentation you need. You just hit download manual, okay, and that's the manual that comes with it that doesn't pertain to this board. But yeah, you'll get this manual. No, I don't think it's that well, it might be. I think it's this manual here. Druffel CNC. So this manual has a lot of good diagrams and stuff on how to connect it up to various axes and spindles and stuff like that. But I'm not worried about that. I was just worried about the stepper motors, which you can see kind of the diagram on it here. That's the output. But here's where the stepper motors tie in. AD, AP. You got 5 volts and ground. 5 volts and ground is what I actually have this hooked to. But again, you don't have to worry about the enable at all. It'll just be enabled 100% of the time if you don't use that. So I wish I would have known that. It would save myself all that wiring. That would have been nice. Because I just, again, got this wired like a Christmas tree to test this thing to make sure it was worth keeping before my return window expired. But at any rate, yeah, the wiring is really simple. That goes to your ground voltage, and like I said, I got that hooked to 18 volts right now. So, but yeah, it's pretty straightforward. I mean, I don't even have high voltage hooked to the 24 volt pin, which you can see on here is this right there. Jeez, you can't even see my mouse. But yeah, this 24 volt pin and the DCM are supposed to be the high voltage and ground, but you're only needing that if you're using the inputs, in particular the outputs and the spindle control, the PWM or whatever for spindle control. So, but I don't have that hooked up. But just to control the steppers, this is what you need. So, but at any rate, yeah, the thing works pretty well. I just plug this thing into USB. Windows automatically recognize the driver right off the bat and install the right driver, which is not a typical HID driver. Um, but then you just install the software and basically hit start, and it just found the thing and connected it. And you might want to go in, depending on your deal, and adjust the settings. You can see I got these settings set way lower. This is an example of what the default is, but you can see what my settings are way lower, because this is wired like a Christmas tree. So I wanted it to work, and I actually adjusted these down a little bit as well, just to get it to work smoothly. And you know um, but yeah, so you can work these arrows and even control two at the same time. All right, and then this is controlling this auxiliary axis from one of the CNC machines. But yeah, I mean, then you got things like you know home, so that's driving the motors, trying to get it back to home. So, but yeah, I mean, it works. It's a pretty nice little deal. But like I said, yeah, you can get these things on Amazon for. Again, I bought mine for like $18. I got it off of Amazon, warehouse, um, for Black Friday. But they actually have versions of this thing that are a lot cheaper, like $17, and there's one up here for $15. It doesn't come with a pendant, but again, I haven't gotten that pendant to work yet anyway. And there's not much, that I found on that particular thing yet. So it's not your typical control pendant. This is real simple. It's just switches. If you open this thing up, there's like nothing in there. There's no like electronics or anything. So it's just a bunch of buttons. That's all it is. So anyway, but it's a good little board. It's I'm impressed that it works as well as it does.